Den of Thinking Men.
Here we go.
So the people have spoken.
They have spoken loud and clear.
The analytics tell a tale.
Hell of a
Would
tale.
Would you care to share that tale with the people?
Well, word on the street, I've been getting this for a lot for the last probably several months.
Do tell.
We love our guests.
Absolutely.
Our guests have been amazing. They bring a lot of energy to us.
Shout out to each and every one of you.
Everybody, we love you. This is not an indictment of your skills, your flyness, or your character.
Absolutely not.
But what we're hearing is people like just you and I going back and forth with it. Because we get a chance to say a little bit more. Right?
Yeah.
Again, the numbers are the numbers. And sometimes, as they say in the streets, the numbers don't lie. The math is math.
The numbers don't lie. So why don't we just get to what we got to get to first?
Yes,
Den
Lord.
of Thinking Men.
Yes, Lord.
Shot by CaliiVision.
The great CaliiVision.
Instagram at the Den of Thinking Men. Full episodes available on YouTube. So when you go to YouTube and you're looking at us, you're like, man, this is so incredible.
It's dope.
And you press subscribe, follow through, sign on.
Please do.
And follow.
We need that right now. We need that. Got to get that bread.
All right. This is edutainment.
Yes, sir.
So much.
Brother, the year has started off in a while. We 12 days in. Incredible.
Bruh, there's an emoji of Elmo going down in a flame of fire.
How about that?
I saw something on TV about Jonathan Majors. And, that's such a hot topic. That's one of several.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got what the whole world knows about. You got Trump. You got Katt Williams.
Oh, man, Katt.
There are a lot of things, but in reference to Jonathan, by chance did you see the interview?
I did.
And what were your thoughts on it as you were watching?
The first thing I thought about was, I don't know if this is going to really help you any, to be really candid.
That's what I thought. You know what? Sometimes when you're talking to people and you ask them a question and they got to you already know,
Yeah.
She asked him a question. How did this happen?
Yeah.
And he just she was like, do you recall any of this? Of course, I'm paraphrasing. Do you recall any of this?
Right.
And he, his answer was just I'm like, bro.
It was slight cringy. Again, wasn't there. We got the video.
Correct. We weren't there.
But he wasn't really fluid with his responses as an actor should be. I'm like, man, get your thespianism on, bro. Give me a little something.
Now is the time for your best performance.
He was kicking ass in Creed. We need to kick ass in this interview right now.
Bro.
Come on now.
You need to kick ass. Bro, this needs to be an Academy, Golden Globe, award-winning NAACP, BET.
At one point, they put the camera on Megan Good. She was like, step your game up, niggas.
Exactly.
Give us more. Come on, man.
All right.
Come on.
Okay. So I want to give a special shout to, there's a woman, Dr. Bonnie Bailey, formerly of Lincoln University.
Yeah, RP, yeah.
Committed suicide.
Yep.
And she cited being, and I quote this, unsupported, disregarded, and abused after countless attempts to speak out on the bullying and harassment she experienced at the hands of now president. This nigga's still president.
Of course he is.
John Mosley.
John Mosley. Yeah. From the Caucasus Islands.
I'm just like, why do you think that our cries so many times go unheard?
We talk about all the time. And what's wild about, her story, this is on the heels of the sister that resigned from Harvard, right?
Hey, man, we got to get into that too.
I'm always curious about when you have people of color in power.
Yes.
Running an institution of higher learning, there's always some threats to what they do. They have to deal with all kinds of crap from the administration.
Right.
Right. And I'd argue that all this stuff, this is trickling down politically from Pennsylvania Avenue all the way down to these colleges in terms of how people are thinking about people of color in those positions of power. People are galvanized. Our white friends are galvanized, and they're saying all kind of stuff. And they feel like they can just start bunking us. And, that's a stressful gig already. I can imagine being bullied every day going to work, job being threatened. Suicide's real. Yeah. I love life. I don't ever have those thoughts, but you don't know what people are going through.
Yeah.
And what was dangling in front of her, you don't know what she was dealing with, but that's terrible.
Well, in reference to the lady who had to step down from Harvard,
Yeah.
what I found so interesting about the Senate hearing was that there were questions being asked, and as she was attempting to answer them, she was being interrupted.
Of course.
And I mean, just as somebody in higher learning, I just really felt that I would have liked, I really would have liked for her to just really just stand on hers and just let her know how she felt.
Yeah, it would have been nice.
Because it's like, you get to talk that talk.
Right.
Broad Street bully me in front of the entire world.
The world.
And it's just like, okay.
I'm saying something.
You have to say something.
I'm saying something.
You have to say something.
And if you're the president of Harvard, odds are
you're pretty accomplished.
And incredibly bright.
Well, I have an associate, really good friend of mine, and he tells me, if you pry into any person's academic thesis, anything that they've written, you could find anything.
There might be some flaws in there.
If you're looking for it.
If you're looking deep enough,
So, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is something that I see more than ever now. There is this big spirit of satanic imagery, bro.
Yeah, man.
That is so pervasive.
It's all over the place.
There is famous. I guess this is a brand.
Okay.
But they have this picture of this young man, and he has a jersey on. It says 99 on the front, and he's doing his eyes like this, and his eyes are white, like he's possessed.
Right.
And then I saw another billiard, and I don't know if this is from the same company, but it's like of a young man, both black,
right,
holding a gun. And I'm like, what is this shit all about?
It's wild. It's wild. And you always say, what's terrible is we see them as, you roll around with the kid, with your boys.
Yes.
And they're inquisitive, like, what does that mean? You have to
Exactly.
explain that shit, like, man.
Exactly.
You almost can't. Like, what is going on right now?
Right.
And even though we're older, and I don't consider ourselves conservative, but there's definitely a certain mind certain place your mind goes at a certain age. You should start being age appropriate in how you think, what you see, what you feel.
Right.
And having this dissect this negative imagery to the children is challenging, man.
Yeah, it is. Because it's challenging to me, and I'm a 48-year-old
that's my point.
Heterosexual male just riding with my children.
Just dipping.
If I have a problem seeing it and internalizing it.
That's right.
And disseminating it through my infrastructure of intelligence.
Yeah.
I could only imagine what a 9-year-old is thinking about.
Yeah, we can't dissect it through our educated lenses. So talk to a kid that's basically he's barely learning algebra. And tell him what this imagery is all about.
Right.
In the midst of all this other stuff, we had a watered down reality on some level. These kids are getting stuff. It's cocaine.
Yeah, it's bro, cocaine. Pure.
It's
pure.
Like, wow.
These are all for everybody to see.
Yeah.
If you pass a construction site where there's a wall around the construction site, these posts, these billiards are there.
Everywhere.
Lil Nas X.
That guy.
It's Too Late to Save You. There's a devil version, and then there's a God version. And the matter in which the devil is being played with, it's just very interesting to me.
Lil Nas X is interesting.
How's he interesting to you?
There's a part of me, his story is fascinating, just based upon the fact that where he came from, and I'll give him a lot of kudos for his success and his climb. And listen, we straight dudes. If you're gonna swing that way, you swing that way. I guess you should be proud.
It is what it is.
There's a quote by Winston Churchill that I love that really is applicable to Lil Nas X. How I feel about him, and the quote is, "He's got all the virtues I dislike and none of the vices I admire." Right?
Wow.
I don't really, I can't really swing with him, man. I don't really, the music is, but he seems like he's really trying to push that envelope in a way that's. And again, we'll get flack from this. So be it. I sleep well at night. But it's a little troubling, especially to your point, from a young person's perspective. You're trying to figure out who you are. And if that's who you are, so be it. I know Madonna was doing the imagery with like a prayer, crosses in the back. I get it.
Right.
And we've seen other people musically have kind of pushed the envelope when it comes to religion and all these other things. But he's definitely stepping over the boundaries in a way I'm not really comfortable with seeing. Himself. And again, I guess I'm conservative flag. I'm a liberal. Everybody knows. So I'm open minded.
Right.
But come on, Playboy, not my thing.
We always talk about gatekeepers.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like for a large part, like the gloves are just off across the board.
Damn right they are.
The gloves are all the way off.
Catch the swinging.
Well, I was talking to you about It Is What It Is with Mark Jackson.
Yeah.
And I was saying like how good he is on that show because you get a chance. You and I have spoken about him and how we feel like he's somebody who should definitely be working.
Should have a gig.
What's the coach's name from? Oh man, he used to coach the Vogel.
Frank Vogel at Phoenix now.
Yeah, Vogel's got several chances.
Keeps getting gigs.
And I mean, if he's a good coach,
he
it is with it. But like we just never and you and I playfully joked on like what was going on, but like for real, it just comes to a point where like what's going on? Stephen A. Smith has talked about it,
right?
And now he's on. It Is What It Is,
right?
What was entertaining about it was that he has an incredible basketball mind. So what he's talking about is it's so accurate.
Right.
But what I noticed as he was sitting there, Cameron is saying nigga every other word.
Every other word.
And his platform is so entertaining. And like as I'm looking at Mark, because they do the split screen.
Of course.
Mark is sitting there like, bro.
Come on, man, you're killing me.
Like
you're
bro.
Killing me, Smalls.
Like, bro.
Come on.
Like this platform is so good. And you don't need to you don't. I mean, if you got to let one out, all right. But like the whole thing,
it's a nonstop. It's nonstop.
Yeah.
And there's a level of, we talk about it, level of discomfort when you hear that all over and over again.
Yeah.
And the bigger your platform, obviously more people are watching. Clearly.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell these cats how to operate
at all.
They're having major success, and they look at me like, "Please, y'all won't y'all grow your thing? Like we will."
Yeah.
But we want to make sure the audience gets educated in a certain kind of way. And if you got a couple million people following you or watching every week, just balance it out a little bit. That's all I'm saying. It's okay because I already said it a couple times, and I might say it a couple more.
Right.
But in between them, I'm gonna give you some Winston Churchill.
Right.
Okay? And balance it out in a way that's a little bit more digestible for the masses. So.
Right.
Yeah. Mark Jackson, I don't even understand that. That cat is bright.
Oh, he's super bright.
He got clipped from doing the play-by-play of the ESPN with Mike Breen. I'm like, how do you lose his gig?
I have no idea how somebody with such a brilliant basketball mind is not running a team, not a coach, running a team,
running the squad. He should be up there. I told you months ago, he in there praying with cats. They ain't comfortable with that.
Well, you know that like Mike Dunleavy, his son is like head of like basketball operations at a team. So you mean to tell me
he took Bob Myers' job?
So you mean to tell me that he is more qualified than Mark Jackson?
Come on, man.
That's a question I'm asking you.
No, of course not.
Okay, but why do you think he got that gig?
Come on, man.
Okay, so we can move on. All right, so there is a terrorist. You ever heard of Ed Bloom?
Have I?
So Ed Bloom is like specifically targeting black organizations.
Yeah.
And the reason why I bring this up is because I always tell you there's no one whose existence is being more negotiated on a secondly basis than black and brown people.
No question.
Black people specifically.
Of course.
And when you figure out, like, again, go online, look up what he's doing.
Yeah, man.
There's a black woman whose organization was sued because she was focused specifically on empowering other black people.
Yeah, he kickstarted the affirmative action joint.
But what makes no sense to me is that there is zero upheaval.
Oh, no. No.
Like, nobody's losing their job over this?
No uproar. Mm-mm.
No one. There is none.
No one. No one. I'm telling you, it's wild. He gets no pushback. Talk about it. These cats, man, they fly under the radar. They do all this crazy stuff, and they get over. It's an election year. We're going to have bigger conversations as we get closer to November when it's time to hit them polls. And we're going to start to see, this is when the true colors really come out every 4 years.
Yeah.
The people that play that game in the middle of the years in between, it's all good. When it's time to vote, true colors. Cyndi Lauper, true colors.
You know that there's a song by Dead Presidents. He said, we all want a peace. Mm-hmm. Only problem is Cracker want a bigger piece. Make it where nigga can't get a piece. I was like, wow, that is a bar.
It's a bar. I love their prayers. Yeah.
That is like it's such a bar, and it's so real because like when I see anybody of any other ethnicity, I want all of us to win.
Yeah.
And there's enough resources for us all to win.
Especially in America, sure.
But this is a yes or no question to you. Would you say that our existence here in the United States, we started at a disadvantage?
Hell yes.
Okay, so since we started at a disadvantage, if there are rules that are legislated to pretty much attempt to get us back to game one, those things are non-negotiable.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Once they're law, it's not negotiable.
Yeah.
Which means even if you, as a white governing body, bring on someone who's African American, that African American, you speak for yourself.
Yeah, of course you do.
But you can't speak for the rest of us who are benefiting from a program that's designed to pretty much get us back up.
Exactly.
That's it is so interesting to me. That's why I had to put the suit on today, bro.
You look crisp. I almost wanted
business.
to change. You know, you're about business. I was on some Welcome to the Jungle. Okay, I was thinking about Slash today.
Yeah, bro. Special shout out to Guns N' Roses.
DNR, they got me fired up.
Incredible group.
Come on now.
Incredible group. But there's no one's just civil liberties.
Yeah.
I don't want to know about what's going on in Cardi B's bedroom.
No interest.
What's going on with her and Offset.
No interest.
Nothing against either one of them.
No, they're cool. Yeah.
But our attention is really, really, really in the wrong place. And when I say our, I'm talking about collectively.
Yes.
You ever heard of that movie, The Network?
Of course. Great film. Yeah.
There's that scene, I'm mad as hell.
Yeah.
Just go and type up Mad as Hell from The Network, the movie.
Yeah.
What he's talking about, like that movie's made in the 70s.
It wasn't. Yeah.
Here we are in 2024, and all of the rules are still applicable.
And we're at a huge disadvantage. You know, if this were basketball, black people would be Spud Webb, right?
Yeah.
Who's an overachiever, okay, and won the slam dunk competition.
Say word.
God bless him.
Yeah.
But white folks are Wembenyama in terms of height,
Yeah.
you know, draft
Influence.
capital, influence,
Yeah.
power, right?
Wow.
Both in the league.
Both in the league.
But I'm going from team to team because I'm too fucking short. Okay. Meanwhile,
Right.
Victor's like, come on, give him the bag, and that's the advantage they have. And they'll say, well, you made the league though. Like, yeah, but how hard was it for me to just get drafted?
Right.
And I'm just trying to stick on the squad. And I always feel like that's how it is for us. Any advantage that we provided, it gets us eradicated. And if we're not careful, we're seeing like a systematic breakdown.
Oh, yeah.
Again, we're so easily blinded by our phones and, like you said, what's going on in other people's bedrooms, you know, other cats getting in trouble.
Which is none of our business.
No, and if you're interested for a second, okay, it's entertaining for a brief moment, but pivot back to the issue at hand. Because systematically, things getting broken down. Okay, women can't have abortions anymore. We're going to take that away. So just eradicate the women's support. Gone.
Affirmative action. Gone.
Gone. Okay. Because what ends up happening is you see black people rise up, become presidents of Harvard. You go to Harvard, you become president of the United States, Obama.
Right.
Can't have that again.
At all.
Someone said it best the other day. It's like, you know what? Who was it? It was a sister on the View. I forget her last name.
Bro, that was the most incredible breakdown.
Isn't that a great clip? Powerful.
That was Share.
Yeah, but I mean, and I won't.
That was incredible.
I'm not gonna steal her thunder because I can't even say it like she said it. But in so many words, you know, things are taken from us. They've been broken down under our noses. Education,
right here.
All the schools they went to aren't good enough anyway because black people are getting in them. Like, okay, we can't have that.
Right.
Cut out affirmative action. When the truth is, if Harvard brings in a class of 300 in the fall,
It's probably gonna be
it's gonna be like 4 black people. Okay,
Exactly.
One's gonna have a jumper. Okay. One's, you know, the other 3 is gonna be like, oh, you got in one, and that's gonna be it. They don't even want those cats on the yard
at all.
Crazy.
Don't want you here. You know, Todd Boyd at USC.
Yeah, I love him.
There was a documentary on OJ. He said when that whole situation happened, and you already know, we all know OJ did it at this point. Okay.
Okay.
So we're not talking about that.
Yeah.
He said that what I realized when I was going through that period of my life in America, he said, you just realize how much people don't like your black ass.
How about that?
I was like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
we've referenced the juice before, and we won't go in the weeds about
At
that
all.
because clearly we know he did what he did.
But by the court of law, he's innocent.
How about that?
By the court of law, he's innocent. So we'll leave it there. Go ahead. Go ahead.
He'll pay his fine at some point, in another form or fashion. But there are still people mad about that. Almost 30 years later, this trial was in 95, 29 years later, Katt is still upset about that verdict. And I understand to an extent, but it goes to show you the vitriol that was being spilled, and you could see it. It was palpable through the Southland, through the streets. I was like, people ain't really happy right now.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. And I'd argue that we black folks really ain't recovered since then. There was a wave in the 80s. I felt like I'd been a young kid thinking like things might be cool for us. We got Cosby Show.
Right, different world.
Whitney Houston.
Jordan.
MJ. Both MJs.
Tyson.
Tyson. Come on. Yeah. Prince was hot. I'm like, they're starting to like us.
Right.
Black folks are kind of making some strides. Run, Jesse, run.
Bro, even Jeffrey Osborne was winning.
Come on.
Everyone was winning.
Jeffrey has the woo song. On the Wings of Love.
Right.
The cuts. I was like, we making that. Run, Jesse, run. We're good.
Right.
Early 90s, felt good too. That Chronic album dropped. I was like, LA's getting the shine. Then the OJ verdict. And when I tell you from that point on, it feels like things have been really different. For sure. Now we had the Obama run and all that stuff, but it's been interesting, man.
There is an interview that Katt Williams put out, brother. That was, bro. I mean, like it was fiery in so many ways. Yeah. My wife was formerly married to a comedian, and she was talking about a lot of stuff that he was saying about Kevin in reference to him getting here when he was here his first year, him being set up as a, he had his own TV show, his own movie.
Yeah, quickly.
Like she was like, nah, because I was there and I saw that whole thing happen. But she was like, in reference to Steve Harvey, she said, oh, that shit is true.
Wow.
And I was like, wow.
Yeah. They're saying about 90% of the stuff he was spitting is probably true. I don't know Katt Williams, never met him. I think he's incredibly funny.
Yeah, he is.
Super funny. Fellow Virgos, born in 71, just like me. So I like that guy.
Intelligent comedy.
Brilliant comedy. He's had vices, who doesn't? But
everyone does.
We've all got them, but
yeah,
he came with receipts. He came with the energy. And he's starting the year off with a bang.
Yeah.
I like Kevin Hart a lot. I really do. And I will say this about Kevin Hart. He's played the game masterfully.
As he should have.
Masterfully. And and to his credit, he's been able to really put his people on. And I think we always talk about that.
That's fantastic, yeah.
Incredible. All his whole crew, they call them the Red Cup, some boys or something. They're all paid and they're all doing their thing and producing with him. Can't ask for much more than that.
Yeah.
He had less to say about Kevin. It was more like, he came up quick and he didn't really disparage him. But Steve, Cedric, man, he was going hard in the paint.
Bro, putting stank where it ain't.
He was going hard in the paint on cats. I felt bad. I had to pause the episode several times, but I think it's got like 45 million views right now.
Oh yeah, he's up. But what I was watching this morning was he was also on Willie D.
You told me about that. Said it was dope.
Remember Willie D from the Ghetto Boys?
Come on now.
Incredible.
That was a great band.
And incredible.
Great group.
Shout out to Scarface, Bushwick.
Rest in peace, Bushwick.
Willie
Bill.
D. Man, incredible. Okay, so the interview was different because it was more introspective.
Right.
The questions that Willie was asking Katt was just about, tell me more about the book. I know you read a bunch of books, but what type of books were you reading?
Sure.
In reference to your comedy, what things in your life informed the way you went about, being a comedian? It was very, very, very enlightening. He's a very intelligent guy.
Yeah, he is.
And he was talking about, he said, there's one clip, he was like, when you don't care about something, you don't pay attention to it.
That's true.
He said, white people pay attention to black people.
Constantly.
And he said, this is what was interesting. And we're not like a white black thing. It's just pointing out things in society that people need to hear about.
Sure.
And we need to dissect. He was talking about when the nose was blown off of the Sphinx. He said, when you look at that nose, you know that that's a double GA nose.
Yeah. How about that?
Because it's a brand. This is a brand right here.
Yeah, we got to take that down, though.
These Marvin Gaye, Doberman nostrils,
full of lips. Yeah.
We got to blow that up. And if you don't care, why are you there blowing it up with dynamite?
Right.
I find the things that he talks about and the way he dissects them, because it's absolute truth.
It's very true. If we
only read.
It's funny. Marley, my daughter's talking to Henny about his vernacular essentially. And, she's really smart.
Uh-huh.
And she said, Henny, let me tell you something. You know what your problem is? You don't like to read, and the music you listen to is trash.
Wow.
So the combination of both, now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay?
Wow.
It's mumble rap on one side.
Yeah.
And your inability to want to read anything where you're not getting fed in that regard. So your vernacular is going to be limited. She just walked out the room and was like, wow.
Yeah.
And she was on point. Because, the magic is in books. We've known that since we were kids. I like to read. I still like to read. As a kid, I loved reading.
Right.
You found adventure in books.
Right.
And knowledge and histories in your books. There's so many answers in there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, we don't want to do that anymore. It takes up too much time. I'm bored. I'd rather watch the game. I'd rather look on IG and see who's doing so and so to who.
And the thing is, it's about an algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're liking a bunch of foolishness, that's what your algorithm is going to be full
feed.
of. There is a video that I saw of, I don't know if the guy's Italian, Jewish, or if he's white, but he's giving his daughter game on how to purchase property.
It's Grant Cardone. That's Grant Cardone. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yep.
That was one of the greatest videos I ever saw. Because she's young, impressionable, and he's telling her this is how you do this.
Yeah.
And she's asking him questions, and he is handling her with kid gloves.
Yeah.
He's pretty much letting her know, this is how you're going to do this. This is how when you graduate, you have property like this.
Yeah.
And that's all I want to see on my timeline.
And what's dope about that, what was interesting though, at one point.
His name is Grant Cardone.
Grant Cardone.
Shout out to you, Grant Cardone.
Who's I think he's a real estate mogul.
Yeah.
He's done his thing. But what was interesting about that conversation there was his daughter, at one point, he had mentioned $250,000. And she said, how am I going to get that? And he said, no, you work for me. You're good. Essentially no.
Wow.
I'm paying you for that.
Yeah.
So imagine your pop saying, you're going to get $250 a year. Like, word? That's half the battle.
Right.
You talking about being able to breathe again. Shout out to Tony Braxton.
Yeah.
Okay. How about that? Knowing that you're going to get that kind of paper, it's already set in stone. And with that, we're going to figure out how not to pay these taxes.
Yeah. Oh, bro.
But
It wasn't like he was tiptoeing around paying taxes.
No.
He says, I'm not
paying taxes.
I am not giving Uncle Sam a dime. I was like, wow.
And I'm almost a billionaire. I'm going to tell you how you're not going to pay taxes. And you're 16. I'm going to start you at $250 in about a month or two.
Yeah.
Fresh out of high school. Imagine that.
But guess what though? Mm-hmm. This is the other part that he said that I found interesting. He said, you're going to park it here. I'm not going to give you $250. You go out and trick it off buying.
No. Park it here.
You're going to park it here. Get this property. Let it build up. I'm like, that's all I want in my time. I don't care who the information is coming from.
That's
white,
all.
black, Hispanic. I do not care.
Give me some game,
yes,
some wisdom, some financial literacy, right? All those things, some affirmations of positivity to kind of get me through the day.
Right.
I'll take a scripture or two.
Right.
Give me something.
Right.
But you click on the wrong thing, you get like, I don't subscribe to this stuff, and it just keeps flying in. I'm like, who's behind this right now?
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at this YouTube video, and they talk about kids in the United States versus kids in other countries, provinces, and they were talking about how a lot of the imagery that you see here on whether it be YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, the algorithm is set to foolishness.
Sure. You can imagine. Yeah.
25 hours, 8 days a week, 13 months a year.
Yeah.
It is set to foolishness. Whereas in other places, it's set to education.
Oh, yeah.
Now, trust me, I'm sure there are exceptions to every rule. It's foolishness everywhere. Yeah. But by and large, if you know that here in China or here and wherever else, you're going to get like 25 hours, 8 days a week of game. Just imagine how much more equipped those people are versus somebody who's watching foolishness all day.
Well, you saw that one video and it said, "While we're losing," it had that one little boy rapping. He's probably about 2, rapping some ratchet hip hop for a few seconds, black kid. And then they showed this Asian kid who's about 2 doing it like a Connect 4. And he just was like, master, like and I was just like, this is why we're not winning.
Right.
Because they're feeding them early that type of information, that skill set, the knowledge.
Right.
The mathematics. And on our side, we're just trying to figure out who's looking cool, who's rhyming, do I sound like little whatever. It's all good. God bless you kids. But you know what I mean? we have to be able to give them those nuggets of wisdom to prepare them for what's to come. And I don't even listen. We at halftime. Matter of fact, I'm 50. I'm past. That's third quarter. Okay. If I can get 40 more, the good Lord can take my black ass home. Right. But for the young kids who are just kind of getting started, your boys, the youngsters,
right,
they got to be equipped because we don't know what the world's going to look like in 40 years.
Right.
You know, we have no idea. The way they're breaking down these programs that we work so hard to build up to give us an opportunity to succeed, with those being eradicated, what are they going to have to work with to kind of help them level up?
What are the building blocks?
What are the building blocks? Yeah.
But this is what's so interesting, just specifically about us specifically.
Sure.
If there is ever a situation where somebody has struggled so hard, faced so much adversity, we set this program up for you all.
Yeah.
There was a time where the opposing faction would be the ringleader, but their game is so tight, we don't have to say a word anymore.
Airtight.
We have your own folks that are going to bring this down.
That part.
There is no possible way on God's green earth that affirmative action should not be here. There should be zero argument because you know when it comes to any other ethnic group, you can't even whisper it.
You're not taking what any policies that are set up for us to succeed. Damn that.
Zero.
But we're not putting up a big enough fight.
And but the thing is, it's never a negotiation for anyone else.
Never.
It's never, not even on the table. It can't even be in your mind.
Yeah.
If I say it and you glare at me wrong,
that's real.
I'll shut your shit down.
Immediately.
But you have somebody who will reap the benefits of the program directly or indirectly.
Sure.
And then turn around and say, no, we don't need it. Okay, well, if you feel we don't need it, that's your opinion. But don't go and legislate against it. If anybody comes out of the woodworks to say anything about this, we better attack them like others get attacked.
Man.
Like a pack of wild dogs, you should be on your civil liberties.
Agreed. Not asking for much. We've never asked for much. That's the interesting thing. Historically, we just want to get in line. We already know we're going to be in the back of it. Okay? Rosa Parks style. We already know that. We're just fighting to just get a ride, right?
Right.
And unfortunately, as we've been seeing in the last few years, man, this is. I tell my folks, please pay attention to what's going on.
Please.
I'm not saying you have to watch the news all day long, but you got to tune in a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't listen. And sometimes I'm a liberal, but I watch Fox News sometimes just to get some game. Like what are they talking about?
Yeah, because it's important.
It's important because they're strategizing. You could be on one side, like I'm not paying attention to what they're saying. You might want to.
You have to pay attention to both sides to understand what it is.
Yeah.
You know, I was watching this clip on YouTube last night, and they were talking about Trump was in court, and
that guy.
I mean, he was pretty much like, "This is a political witch hunt." As a matter of fact, you all owe me money for being here.
Yeah.
I was like, "Wow, this dude is incredible."
He's like, if there's anyone on the planet that's playing with house money, that's that guy, and he knows it. It's one thing to know. You're feeling good about things are happening for me. It's another thing to know I'm playing with house money. My paper's cool. And even if it's not, I've got access to it.
Right.
I'm the Jim Jones of politics. I talked about that.
Yeah.
And if for you listeners, I'm not talking about the rapper from New York.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the cult leader, the guy in the tragedy. That guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That guy.
A lot of black people died at his hands.
One of my family members.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. That guy, he is so empowered, so comfortable. All these indictments, and watch me get reelected though.
Oh yeah, watch it.
I'm not even debating, guys. I'm not. You can have debate about and talk about me. I'm still gonna win the landslide.
I'm gonna do this. But you know what, man?
Wow.
There needs to be more than two parties.
That's what my daughter said. She's like, I don't want to vote for either party. That I don't believe. We need an independent party. Which initially, that was supposed to be the thing. You know, some 200 years ago, it was supposed to be a third party. An independent party. Just everybody to win one way or the other, but there should be a third party, for sure, to balance out this madness.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, because you and I have had very close dealings with the Democratic Party on the program that we developed.
Come on,
Joseph Biden, when he was sworn in.
Come on,
dropped the ball. I highly doubt that if that would have been for Trump, the ball would have been dropped.
No, we got paid too,
handsomely. This is real. I mean. This is all real, though.
The paper would have been cool. You feel me? Yeah. I'm just saying.
Speaking of economic empowerment, shout to Mike Epps.
The comedian.
Have you seen what he's done with his neighborhood, brother?
No, educate me.
So what he did was he took his earnings, went back to his neighborhood. I believe he's from Indiana.
Indianapolis, yep.
He went back to Indy, bought up his block, and hooked up the houses, like his grandmother's house.
How about that?
His mom's. I mean, like he hooked up, like it's literally a block.
That's dope.
And then he sells it off to people who come into the neighborhood.
That's dope.
I don't know if he lives in the neighborhood. I believe he has a home there.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
Like on this block.
Wow. That's
But
so
it was
cool.
just it was just so empowering to again, this is what I want in my timeline.
Yeah, I like Mike Epps too. He's
I
funny.
want that.
Yeah, he's good. He's talented.
Mike is one of the most all of his special. He is the most random comedian. The stuff that he talks about, it's no rhyme or reason.
Right.
He's like, you remember Greg Nice, the rapper?
Nice and smooth.
Greg.
Sometimes I'm running slow.
Mike Epps is like the Greg Nice of comedy. Because
Real smooth
because Greg Nice would be talking about ooh la la ah wee wee Muhammad Ali cat. It was no rhyme or reason.
You say parquet,
But the thing was, it was dope though.
but it was smooth.
It was so hard.
It was so smooth.
So shout out to that brother, man.
It's funny. One day, this is about 2 years ago, I was dipping through Lamert, and I was like, "That's Mike Epps." He was right on Degnan. Just coming out of like an apartment, looked like he might be with his wife.
Yeah.
Just right in the hood. I'm like, look at Mike Epps over here. I've always liked that guy. Good for him. That's a good story. That's
Yeah,
dope.
yeah. There are so many things that I have to talk about. Wanted to ask you, are there any points of interest that you wanted to speak on?
Man, you know, it's funny. We've actually, it's funny. We're on a good little roll here, man. Some good conversations. I mean, I think, you know, I can go down the sports thing because it's playoff time, and you know we love our sports, and that's fascinating to an extent. But because it's an election year, my focus is a little bit more serious about what's going on.
Yeah.
In terms of the climate, and obviously, you know, we've talked about Trump and those issues. We talked about the affirmative action situation, the woman that lost her job at Harvard, which really bothered me.
Yeah.
Big time.
Bothered a lot of people.
It bothered me big time. I just feel like, you know, we have to culturally find the urgency in the process of voting this year. We talk about it every 4 years. The problem is, what I always tell folks, we can't wait till the election year, the general election to show up. We got to take those midterms, bro.
Bro, you gotta.
Those are the ones that
you gotta participate in those.
It's once every couple of years. Get off your ass, go to the You can damn near vote from your toilet now. It's so easy to vote.
Right.
Back in the day, you had to stand in line for hours at a time, and you might get there like down south and like polls closed. Like I've been in line for 4 hours.
Right.
Like I'm at Disneyland or some shit.
Right.
Right. You know what I'm saying? You finally get there like,
Right.
it's over. Like, come on now.
Right.
So it's so easy to vote now. So we have to, I mean, again, I'm just trying to tell as many people as I can. Even my daughter was like, I don't want to vote. I'm like, yeah, I get that, but you need to exercise your right.
Yeah.
Okay. I get that we do need an independent party. I agree completely. But until we have one, you got to cast your vote in the right place.
Yeah.
Biden, listen, man. I mean, I'm not gonna kill it. He's like 100 years old, right?
He looks so faulty. I just don't, because like, bro, the thing is this,
Man.
if you remember when Clarence Thomas was nominated,
Yeah.
there was Anita Hill,
91, sure.
and the person who was who was attacking Anita Hill's credibility the most
Was Joe Biden.
was Joseph Biden.
I remember that very well.
Which was so interesting because I didn't make the correlation of the two, him being vice president and this is the guy who savagely attacked this woman, until he ran for president.
Sure.
Because as vice president, you're along for the ride.
You're a shadow. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're along for the ride.
shadow, yeah.
So when I saw him, I'm like, this is like the coolest white dude in America.
Yeah. Got the Ray-Bans on.
Yeah, but
Chilling.
the thing is, when I dissected history, I was like, oh, you were that guy.
Well, that's been his.
What, Achilles heel?
I'd say that's been his strength politically, and that's what's got him all his capital.
What, to hide in the back in the shadow?
He's been hella moderate, and he's been able to really be a negotiator between parties. That's what he kind of had. His calling card was he's a guy that can reach across the aisle and be able to, whether it's the Anita Hill situation, that clearly favored the Republicans and getting Clarence Thomas nominated. And the Supreme Court is obviously tilted.
Right.
He's been that guy. Unfortunately, when you get in that hot seat, all that goodwill goes out the window.
Right.
All the stuff you did before is like, yeah, that's cool. Thanks, man.
Right.
But you president now, and shit ain't cool.
Right.
Okay. And
Right.
I'm not an ageist guy. I mean, I'm not into ageism, but the reality is the brother's like 80 years old. I think he is. He looks like he's 100 years old.
So is he running again?
Who else is going to run for the Democratic Party?
I don't know.
He's going to try to get up there again, but he's getting propped up. No one's feeling Kamala.
Nah.
No one's feeling Kamala right now.
Nah.
Okay. She doesn't have the strength or the support. I shouldn't say the strength. That ain't right. She's a cool sister.
She's very cool. Yeah.
She's not getting the support from the party. And unfortunately, her skin is going to be an issue. And she's a woman. They're not going to support her, man. And black folks want more out of her. I'm like, what's she's supposed to do? She's handcuffed.
Well, the thing is, there was a video I saw where someone had questioned her in reference to reparations, and she was like, "No, I'm not going to bat for that."
Wow.
You think somebody from any other ethnic group, when asked that question, would have said, "No, I'm not going to bat for my folks"?
Did she
I'm
really say that, man? Wow.
I'm asking you, do you think anybody from any other ethnic background?
They're fighting for every cent. Every cent.
So why should we give it to you if people that are among you say you don't deserve it?
Yeah. I'm not going to fight for that.
Why? Why? Like literally, why should I bequeath this to you?
Man, let me tell you something. We need every cent we can get, especially now.
Yeah.
And if you got somebody in the position to help, at least put it on the table. Shame on her. I didn't know that. Now I'm really salty.
Okay. So, sharp turn.
Yeah.
Thriller at 40.
Yeah, man.
Did you see that documentary?
Did we? And we mentioned it briefly with Jeff.
With Hamilton, yeah.
A couple weeks ago. And I was trying to give him his flowers. Talking about his guest rise, but he was just like, "Oh, that's too much for me." I'm like, "All right, man."
Yeah.
But Thriller, that documentary was electric.
Yeah, it really was.
Everyone knows I'm a Prince fan. Everyone knows Prince is my guy.
Okay.
And when we grew up, it was Prince or Mike. You had the debates. They kind of like their rise was the same time.
How come we couldn't like both of them though?
When you're a kid, it's like you got to pick who do you like.
But they both had hits though.
They did. But I always liked Prince because he was giving me a little bit more game I could use on the streets. It's a little bit more applicable in the streets.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you something. When you saw Prince with a lady, bro, you knew it was going down.
Piping. He was getting it in.
When you saw Michael with Brooke, it was kind of like, they're homies.
It's a prop. Come on.
They're homies.
I knew Prince was making it happen on lyrics alone and just songs on Savoir Faire. I was like, I'm fucking with that guy.
Yeah.
That's like how he moved.
Yeah.
And when I heard Darling Nikki, I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
word? What does that mean? Right?
Yeah.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
But to see the Thriller doc and how Mike really, really orchestrated that album and how he really was pushing to level up on the business side.
Yeah.
And how the label was like, okay, we're good after your triple platinum was like, that's not good enough.
But it's not, no. Because we have to shoot Thriller.
I do Thriller though.
We have to do Thriller though. We haven't done Thriller.
Thriller.
And actually, I'm not paying for it.
No.
So that network that didn't want me on here like 12 short months ago,
yeah,
they're going to pay for the whole thing.
Because Epic was like, we ain't paying either. He's like, go to MTV.
Yeah.
Okay. And they paid that 1.2 to fund that joint. And the Thriller just took the album to, I mean, come on.
How ironic that MTV, again, 12 short months prior to that, they had, you didn't see Rick James on there.
No. Nobody black was on there.
Bro, you didn't see Luther Vandross.
No.
Never Too Much.
No.
At all.
None of that. They weren't playing black music.
At all.
I don't even think Lionel was on there quite yet.
No, he wasn't.
No.
He wasn't. But it was Yitnikov.
Yeah.
Shout out to Yitnikov.
Shout out to Yitnikov. Yeah.
He was like, yo, if you ain't playing them, you're not playing Billy Joel then.
And he was making so much money off MJ and knew how big he was. When Mike negotiated that deal at the table, like, I'm going to need all my masters. I was like, take them.
He was like, because I'm making so much bread.
He was like, I know Quince was in the room like, word?
Exactly. You got your what back?
What? Off of only a second album? Oh, no, third. I forget about Ben. Okay.
Man, come on, bro. Come on, bro. I mean, he had several records on Motown, but I just remember during that time how it was like Michael and then y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like everybody was trying to get on the Michael train. If you remember Kenny Loggins, This Is It, that is his best rendition of attempting to be Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
It's a great song too.
It's an
great
incredible song.
That's a phenomenal
This
song.
is it.
Yeah.
And then he brought Michael McDonald in on you too.
Come on.
Hey, bro.
Come
One
on.
of the best Blue Eyes Soul jams ever.
Which one? I keep forgetting. Which one?
Keep forgetting. This is it.
Oh, this is for sure.
You're the biggest part of me by what's the name of that group?
Ambrosia.
I mean,
on.
like these are incredible Blue Eyed Soul hits.
Come on, man. They had a run there.
Ambrosia did?
No, that's our blue-eyed contemporaries. It was singing.
bruh.
I mean, come on now. Hall & Oates was getting it done.
Oh, bro.
Come on now.
Hall & Oates was so good.
They were solid.
It was so good.
Too bad they're breaking up.
You know they broke up.
As soon as I heard the news, I was like, say it isn't so.
Oh my God. All right. So there is a another sharp turn within the sharp turn. Kerwin Frost.
Yeah, I know.
Shout out to Kerwin.
Yeah,
Shout out to Kerwin.
Talented kid. Mhm.
He did a McDonald's
I saw
nugget
that.
situation.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, really cool.
And I was like, good for McDonald's for listening.
Yeah.
I doubt many people really realize the part I play in all of this.
Listen, man.
In all,
Come on.
And let me break it down.
Flowers for sure.
So for those of you who don't know, years ago I redid the uniforms for McDonald's North America and Canada.
That's right.
I was with the team called Way to Be.
Way to be.
Way to Be was they had the relationship with McDonald's.
Okay.
And Way to Be is run by Wayne and this guy named Alan McIntosh.
Okay.
Alan McIntosh brother used to be married to my now good friend's wife, Jennifer.
Okay.
And McIntosh and Jennifer had a son named Toby. Toby has a brand called Crenshaw Skate Club.
How about that? Wow.
So he's looking at his father and his uncle talk one day, and they're like, his uncle is like, I want to go to McDonald's, but I need somebody. I just need a different slant on it, and I just don't know what to do. Toby, all of 9 years
I was a
old,
little kid then, yeah.
9 years old,
Sure.
says, why don't you reach out to
Waraire.
why don't you reach out to Waraire? And Alan's like, who the hell's Waraire?
Huh.
And so he not only does he listen to Toby,
about
which is incredible
Sure.
that an elder will listen to a child, but he then reaches out to me. He comes, sits in my office. We have a conversation. At no point did he know that I was formerly an employee of McDonald's.
As a kid.
He had no idea that I worked at the McDonald's on Lincoln, right up the street from John Muir, Mustangs, bro.
Yeah.
We end up going through this whole process.
Wow,
it takes
that's
us
so cool.
it takes us 2 years to cultivate this deal with McDonald's.
Those big deals take some time.
It
Yep.
took time.
As we know. Yep.
And because of that deal, I was able to purchase my home.
About your house. Yeah.
Right? But this is where I say Travis Scott, J Balvin, Cardi B, even Kerwin Frost. Oh, a debt of gratitude to your man talking on the mic right now.
First of all, you're damn right they do. Man, you're so humble, man. Sometimes I get mad, like speak on it, because you're absolutely right. And I didn't know. I think when I first met you, and I think we go back 15, 16 years now, I don't know when you did this deal, but you hadn't done it yet. When I found out about it, I was thinking like, damn, how do they put that together?
Yeah.
Not that it was impossible. I was like, damn, that's because you do need those people to come.
You need the people.
It's moving parts because it's a corporate thing. And as being a former corporate guy, it's hard to navigate in those waters and just get in those rooms.
Right.
But then to deliver something that impactful on such a large level and large scale. And it's one thing to be an artist and do a commercial with MC Hammer selling chicken back in the day, right? Shout out to the Hammer though, Oakland's finest.
Oh my God. Hey, your Hammer was cold, bro.
Hey,
people throw shade on his name. Hammer was cold, man.
Hey man, town business. I fuck with Hammer. Hammer was dope.
Yeah.
Hammer was dope. God
Hammer
bless him.
also put hands on you too. You come up talking crazy.
Him and his brother. I ain't messing with the Burrells.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
OGs.
But you were saying.
Point was Hammer was an artist.
Yeah.
Who did a commercial to sell the product.
Right.
But very few people are behind the scenes developing product.
Right.
And from a fast food perspective, like how do you get in there? Like I'm not making food. Like what do I do?
Right.
So to have the angle to do like a uniform and just to redo it globally, at least in North America.
And Canada.
And that's North America, right?
Hey.
That's insane.
Once you get into that room, you realize how difficult it is to get in that room. specifically us.
Sure.
So once I'm in the room and we lock the uniforms,
Yeah.
that was its own process.
Yep.
But like knowing how difficult it is to get in those rooms, when you realize you're there, you got to shoot your shot.
You got to shoot your shot. You got to pull from half court. That's right.
So this is where the debt of gratitude is owed that a lot of people don't know.
Right.
I said to them, you know what you all should do? You all should have a czar of your assets to reintroduce Grimace and Mac Tonight and all that. And what you all should do, what I would love to be purposed to do is be responsible for going out and pinpointing people in the culture that makes sense because I am of the culture.
Of course.
And they were like, that is an incredible idea.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Here we go with Kerwin Frost.
And no. First was the Travis Mill.
Oh, yeah.
Then came J Balvin. Then came Cardi B and Offset. Then came Kerwin Frost.
Right. But you planted that seed.
But the seed was planted by me.
Okay.
So when you talk about
That sesame seed,
hey,
right?
bro, there's so many of these, and you say it to me a lot, and there's a lot of people say it, like, you have to be more vocal about just the history and what people like don't know.
Because people
they need to know it.
They should know it. And
Yeah.
But the truth is, the beauty of you is you carry yourself in a way that you don't want to talk about a whole lot, and that's just humility in it.
Yeah, but you got to talk about it.
But you got to talk about
specifically now.
Specifically now.
Yeah.
In this climate, when people are really attention spans are quick, and people say, "I didn't know you did that. I know you did that." To circle back to the top of this episode and why you and I are just sitting here, because what I've been hearing is you guys keep talking about what you're talking about.
Right.
This is the den of thinking men. We'll bring folks in and have those conversations. We
Absolutely.
definitely appreciate their perspective.
Right.
But this is what it is, and we have to do a better job of bigging up our joints and talking about what we doing, because this is our platform.
Right.
And that's what's up, man. That's dope, though.
Right.
Great story.
Right. Yeah. So speaking of things that we're doing, working on the platform with who we're working on it with. I don't need to talk too much about it.
Yeah.
But there's a platform called Tenable 6.
Tenable 6. Talk about that.
Tenable 6 for gentlemen who are 5'4" to 6'11". When you wear those goods and you've worn them out, or if you lightly worn those goods and you're like, you know what, I don't want this in my closet anymore.
Yeah.
This is the platform that I've set up that's different from any other consignment space.
Okay.
Where the terms are favorable to the client on what they resell on the platform, and you get this stuff out of your closet.
Wow.
Now, we've been very fortunate to have, some really nice people consign on the platform, and a lot of people don't want to put their name behind it for, whatever reason.
Of course.
But Tenable 6, CaliiVision is going to put the website underneath here.
That's right.
It's going to be right there.
Right there.
So you can see it. But these are things that we need to talk about. Like I told you, brother, I got the suit on today because we're about, got the suit on today because we're about business, and we need to just be more on it.
I mean, Tenable 6, great platform. You're killing it there. There's a litany of things we're doing this year. Some things we can't disclose.
At all, right?
But I do know, 2024 is critical.
Right.
That's 8 right there, right? That's Kobe. Matter of fact, the 2 is Gigi, the 24 is Kobe. Makes 8, that's Kobe. Kobe is looking at us, man.
Yeah.
He's like, this is a year to make these things happen.
Yeah.
So people will start to see how it unfolds as the year progresses. And a great conversation yesterday with our team about a nice project that's going to really, really be dope.
Yeah.
It's going to be excellent.
But you heard it here first.
That's right.
So, in closing, you already know the roll call.
Yeah.
Den of Thinking Men, shot by CaliiVision. Instagram, at the Den of Thinking Men. Full episodes available on YouTube. We will do our absolute best to make the dates that these programs roll out more consistent.
Consistency is key. Sure.
That's the goal. If you love the platform, please subscribe. As I always say in closing, be kind to yourself because you're always, always listening.
Yes, Lord.
Always. Till next time. Peace.